You know, what if you could totally transform your well-being? Not with some massive, complicated overhaul, but just with a few simple habits? Well, that's the big idea from naturopath Fanny Bobette, that the real path to better health is paved with small, consistent steps. And today, that's exactly what we're going to dive into.
And really, her entire philosophy, it just boils down to this one simple question. What if the key to a healthier life was found in small, simple actions? It's a total mindset shift, right? It suggests you don't need to throw your whole life upside down. You just need a few conscious adjustments to the things you're already doing every single day.
So who is Fanny Bobette? Well, here's the thing. Her approach wasn't just cooked up in a lab, it was forged through her own very real health challenges. We're talking fatigue fractures, thyroid issues, insulin resistance. The principles she teaches are the solutions she had to discover for herself. So this isn't just some textbook theory, it's a real framework born from real experience. Okay, so where do we even begin with all this? Let's start with something most of us eat nearly every day: bread. It's actually the perfect example of how one small daily choice can have a massive impact on our health. First, let's do a super quick breakdown of gluten. It's basically a protein with two main parts: gliadins, which make dough stretchy, and glutenins, which make it strong. But here's the key thing most people don't know. It's the type and the balance of these two proteins that really determines how easily our bodies can digest it. And this is where we see a huge difference. See, modern wheat has been specifically bred to be super high in gluten, making that stretchy dough that's perfect for industrial baking. But those exact qualities can be really tough on our gut. Ancient wheats, on the other hand, things like spelt or comet, they have a naturally gentler, more fragile gluten structure that our bodies often find way easier to break down. Now, the next piece of this puzzle is how the bread is made. Industrial yeast is all about speed, making bread rise as fast as possible. Sourdough, though, that's a whole different story. It's a slow, natural fermentation. It uses beneficial bacteria that, over hours and hours, literally pre-digest the gluten for you, breaking it down before it even gets to your stomach. So what's the big payoff for making the switch to an ancient grain sourdough? Well, you get three pretty amazing benefits. First, it's just way more digestible. Second, that long fermentation process actually unlocks key nutrients like iron and zinc so your body can absorb them better. And third, it has a lower glycemic index, which means you get stable, steady energy without those nasty blood sugar spikes. All right, so it's not just about what we put in our bodies, but how our bodies operate. And this brings us to our daily rhythm and the powerful built-in clock that pretty much governs everything we do. See, our bodies run on this 24-hour cycle called the circadian rhythm. You can think of it like a hormonal wave. In the morning, cortisol, your energy hormone, peaks to get you up and focused. Then, as evening comes, cortisol drops, and melatonin, the sleep hormone, starts to rise to get you ready for rest. The absolute key is to work with this natural flow, not fight against it. And you really want to respect that rhythm, because believe me, sleep is not just downtime. It's prime time for your body's maintenance crew. While you're asleep, your brain is busy archiving memories. Your hormones are rebalancing to control your appetite for the next day. Your cells are repairing tissues, and your immune system is literally getting stronger. It's a super active and crucial period. Let's look at another daily habit: hydration. We've basically got two main choices. Bottled water can expose us to microplastics, and it's expensive, both for your wallet and for the planet. On the other hand, filtering your tap water removes common contaminants, costs way less, and is so much better for the environment. It's a simple switch that's a clear win-win-win. Okay, so we've looked at aligning with our body's internal clock. Now, let's zoom out a little and talk about syncing up with the rhythm of the planet. It's time to talk about eating in tune with the seasons. But before we get into the why, let's ask a pretty important question. What's really hiding in your food? Because when we eat produce that's been flown halfway across the world, completely out of season, it often comes with some invisible baggage. And a huge part of that is the environmental hit. Just look at this. A tomato grown locally in its natural season has a tiny carbon footprint. But one grown in a heated greenhouse during the winter, it can emit up to 4 times more CO2. That is just a massive difference for the exact same food. And beyond the planet, there are direct concerns for our own health. France's National Health Institute, INSERM, looked at over 5,000 studies on pesticides, and their findings are pretty sobering. They found clear links between chronic exposure and serious health risks, like an increased risk for certain cancers, connections to Parkinson's disease, and major disruption to our hormonal systems.
But okay, it's not all doom and gloom. There's a huge upside to eating seasonally. It's not just about avoiding the bad stuff, it's about getting more of the good stuff. Fruits and vegetables that are picked when they're actually ripe and in season are just flat out more nutritious. In fact, studies show they can have up to 70% more vitamin C. That's huge. So, how do we tie all of this together? This isn't just a random list of rules to follow. It's a single, powerful philosophy for your entire wellness journey. You can really boil the core philosophy down into 3 simple principles. Number 1, choose living foods, like that sourdough we talked about, that are full of life and nutrients. Number 2, respect your body's natural rhythm, especially when it comes to sleep. And number 3, sync up with nature's cycles by eating fresh, seasonal foods. These 3 steps, they're the foundation for everything.
And that really brings us to the end of this explainer. But it's also the beginning for you. All this information is powerful, for sure, but it's just a guide. The real transformation happens when you actually act on it. So the only question left is this: what's the one small step you're going to take today?